You're watching Friday Night Football Fever with Pete Byrne and Carl Deffenbaugh. Presented by TCU. The hits start now.
Good evening. Boy, it was cold out there tonight. The fans that watch the high school football know what we're talking about. Fun night tonight. We have a couple teams playing in the regional for the first time ever. That would be Elkhart Central and Northridge.
And sort of opposite end of the spectrum, we have a team that's been there now 22 times. That would be Jimtown going for its 13th regional.
Yes, they are certainly no stranger. We're going to start tonight, though, with the lone semi-state game of the night. Penn, undefeated, ranked number 2 in Class 6A. Carmel ranked number 1. One of them is going to play for a state title. Let's find out who it is. A frigid night at Freed Field for the 6A semi-state game. And the top-ranked Greyhounds race out to an early lead. This is just the third play from scrimmage. They give it to Shakir Pascal. The big guy gets into the second round of defense, and he goes 56 yards for the touchdown. 7-0 Carmel. So Penn needs an answer, and they get it. A strong opening drive of their own. Camden Bowen takes it the final 9 yards himself. Ties the game at 9 with Notre Dame head coach Brian Kelly in attendance looking on. Apparently, he likes the cold because they were practicing in it yesterday. He's going to be coaching in it tomorrow. All right, it stayed at 7-all for a long time. It's fourth quarter now, still tied when Isaac James goes to the far side, makes a nice move there to beat the defender, and he's going to take it all the way to the house for the touchdown. Carmel back on top, 14-7, and so now Penn needs to score. They were backed up deep in their own territory here. They need something good to happen. I'd say this is pretty good. Camden Bowen breaks a couple tackles, and then it's just a foot race. He's going to take off for a huge game deep in the Carmel territory before they drag him down. And now the Kingsmen are back in business. That's going to set up a short touchdown run. It's Bowen again, his second of the night. And now the Kingsmen are an extra point away from tying the game. But they're never going to get it. The point after try attempt coming up. And unfortunately, get a shirt on for crying out loud. It's like 25 degrees out.
Come on now.
The extra point, wide left. Tough way to end. Carmel escapes 14-13. Penn season comes to a heartbreaking end.
We gave a couple big plays that hurt us, and had some missed opportunities. But that's football. You got, you know, that's the tough part about this deal. I mean, everybody on that sideline competed, and not anybody's fault at all. We all had. Starting with myself, we made mistakes, and that's the game. I mean, I'm blessed to be able to work with young men like this.
That is a brutal way for your season to end. Well, moving along, we got a surprise matchup in Class 5A. Elkhart Central, first time ever in regionals. LaPorte's only been there once before. First play for the Slicers. Check this out. Charles Salary, their excellent running back, goes about 85 yards for the touchdown.
Coaches say you want to start fast.
That would be about as fast as you
good.
can start. One play, one touchdown for Salary. 7-0 LaPorte. Later in the first quarter then, the Blue Blazers forced a punt, and this is Greg Littlejohn fielding it at his own 45. Nice cutback to the far side, and he's going to take it to the house for a 55-yard score. You heard the Elkhart coach shouting, "You got to tackle him." Well, they don't. Regional title for LaPorte as they win 55-21. It's the second time they've ever done that in program history. They get Fort Wayne Snyder in semi-state.
Good for the Slicers and a great year for Elkhart Central. They won't feel good about it tonight, but they've had a good year. We're going to move on to Class 4A right now. And New Prairie has got some revenge in mind.
That's for sure. Last year they were undefeated going into regionals, and they ended up losing in overtime on a missed extra point. We saw that in the Penn regular game today. Trying to make up for that last year against Lowell, the Red Devils. And this is in the first quarter. Nick Brassel up top to Drake Deardoff. The run so much that the play action works there. Make it 7-0 Cougars. Lowell would answer in one blaze of glory as James breaks one tackle, and he's gone. That's a one-play touchdown drive.
A lot of those tonight.
A 70-yarder, not bad. But the Devils would miss the extra point, so maybe things are breaking the Cougars' way, perhaps. New Prairie trails now in the second quarter. Brassel keeps it himself, weaves to the outside, and a touchdown Cougars. This year it's New Prairie that wins by a point, 28-27. Maybe a little good karma.
So who will they face in the next round? They get the winner of Northridge and Norwell. The Raiders on the road playing in the regional for the first time in program history. They've never been sectional champs before, and they were trailing right out of the gate. First quarter, Pearson Harnish goes 57 yards for the score to make it 7-0. His big brother, Chandler, plays for the Minnesota Vikings. He's there, and he's happy. He's going to be taking on the Bears in a couple days here on WSBT. It's now 10-0 Norwell in the second one. Kyle Carson finds David Welker. First down, keeps the chains moving, and that would lead to this, a long field goal right before halftime. Look at the leg. That made it 10-3, but it also gave Northridge a little life heading into the locker room, and they come out on fire in the second half. The defense here hops on the football and recovers. They would go on to score 2 touchdowns in the second half, and Northridge rallies to win 17-10. They're going to have a midnight fire truck escort at the high school tonight. Northridge moving on to face New Prairie in the semi-state. So we're going to have a local team playing for a state title.
What an amazing
in
run,
Class
too, by the
4A.
Raiders.
Absolutely. A couple other scores to pass along. You saw both Jimtown losing in Class 3A and Winnemac falling in Class A tonight. Now in Class 2A, Carl.
Yeah, we got Rensselaer Central against Bremen, rematch of last year. That was Ryan Airhood on a short touchdown. Rensselaer up 28-0, and then just before the half, Garrett Eldridge. The handoff this time, 4-yard touchdown. Rensselaer Central wins 48-13, so a tough way for the Lions season to go as they lose to the #2 team in the state.
All right, that takes care of Indiana. Again, we showed the score. Winnemac and Jimtown both got defeated tonight on the road. Up in Michigan, we still have a couple teams still alive in the regional round, and as far as Edwardsburg is concerned, they're having their way with teams. They have beaten every team they have faced this year. Their one loss they made up for earlier in the playoffs. Let's take a look at their highlights tonight as they host Eaton Rapids from the East Lansing area. Again, this is the Division IV Regionals. You saw the snow on the field. This is first quarter. Dante Rosano is having a great year, but he fumbles a football there and turns it over to the visitors on a short field, but the Eddies defense bails them out here. They strip the football. Robbie Klein pounces on it in the end zone. Edwardsburg recovers. Moving on to the second quarter now. Edwardsburg leading 8-0. Watch this play by Rosano. Totally redeems himself. Avoids the sack. He's got a man wide open down the field. That is Jackson Gadeski for the touchdown, making it 14-0. Eddies roll tonight 42-8, so they move on to the Final Four in Division 4. And I can tell you tonight in Division 7 that Bridgman got beat on the road 53-12. So their season is over. In Division 6, Waterville will play tomorrow for a shot to go to the Final Four.